Hi, welcome to our show. This is Naturang Batas, Likas sa Tama. I'm your host, Jamay Gatula. And the topic that we have for now would be education and the Filipino. The social doctrine of the church declares or considers education to be a basic human right. But what does it really mean to educate somebody? What are its implications for a country and its future? Our guest is actually considered quite experts in the subject of education, and we'll get onto it right now. To my left is Dr. Antonio Torralba.
Magandang araw sa iyo, Kuya Jamay.
Tonton is the university trustee and fellow of the University of Asian Pacific. I think I got that in the reverse, but that's okay.
University fellow and trustee or university trustee and fellow, pareho rin yun.
Okay. And then beside him is si Miss Ivana Aguiling, project manager for I Am Strong, and also a faculty member of the Center for Social Responsibility, yes. University of Asian Pacific.
Yes.
And beside her rather, is somebody that needs no further introduction. So we'll get onto the beside him is our friend and co-host David Rosario. Yeah. So the first question goes to you, Tonton, if you don't mind. So, pabubo ba ng pabubo mga estudyante natin or medyo nagde-depreciate lang yung education?
Kung pabobo ng pabobo. Bagong salita yan, sir. Nagpapabobo. Well, batay sa mga statistika, no? Noong mga nakaraang taon, ay medyo mas nahihirapan ang mag-aaral ngayon na makaunawa.
Also, that's true.
Dahil sa aking palagay, mga guro. No? Dahil simula nung 1970s, 80s, ganyan. Nung 1990s, gumawa kami ng pag-aaral na ang mga pumapasok sa pagguguro, karamihan ay nanggagaling sa mga bottom levels ng kanilang high school classes. No? So, isa yan sa biggest factor na kung bakit nababawasan ang pag-unawa ng mga mag-aaral at saka nababawasan din yung kanilang skills.
But if I may, but there are also some comments, and I think a lot of the teachers are also sinasabi rin, parang one of their complaints is parang batang hina ng mga bata ngayon. Now, does it have to do really sa ability nila, or does it have to do with the fact that there's just too much information na they're being demanded of them, which I feel is not being demanded ng mga bata nung araw?
Abay, wala. Kasi nung araw, hindi ko alam kung ano nangyayari noon.
Ivana, I think you have...
well, several factors. Again, we're looking at which segment of students we're talking about. Kasi pwedeng, we're also involved sa Synergia Foundation. Tapos meron silang...
Yung Synergia ay merong 183 local governments na tutok sa edukasyon ng kabataan.
So, ang tutok talaga nila ay yung mga kabataan, especially yung mga kabataan sa mga probinsya. Ngayon, nagkaroon sila, ang tutok ng Synergia ay reading and writing talaga dapat pero bigla silang nagkaroon ng proyekto sa, parang mayroong dental mission, kasi ayon sa mga studies,
dental mission?
Dental mission. Parang iba, nag-shift sila. It's not really shifting of focus kasi nalaman nila na yung absenteeism is based on or it's coming from health reasons. So yung mga bata nag-absent sila sa mga klase dahil masakit yung ngipin nila. So pero yun yung number one reason according to the studies, yung number one reason for children being absent. So that's I mean, health factors are taken into account in terms of their academic skills.
Well, that's one point we'll go back to later. Pero from the efforts that you guys are doing, it's obvious that you are really taking education quite seriously, and I think it should. Somebody once said that if you want to develop the best economic policy, education would be probably the best policy. Pero has there been studies that actually show quantitatively yung effect of education, yung in direct correlation niya in terms of our economics, in terms of our other social factors, just to show na how important education is?
No, kasi halimbawa yung poverty ngayon siguro ay nasa kadahilan ng yung mga mag-aaral ay hindi gaanong handang magtrabaho. O kung meron mang half employment or underemployment, no, pero yung full employment ay mahirap marating dahil nga sa kakulangan ng skills. Not so much knowledge, yung kakulangan ng skills, no. At pero merong mga ginagawa nga, halimbawa yung sinergiya na kung ang average ng yung sa national exams, kung ang average ay mga 75, 70 or 60, yung interventions ng sinergiya ng local government, pagsasama ng local government at education sector, nakakapagpataas yan ng 75, 85 sa math, sa reading, ganon. At kasi by common sense, kung mas marunong magbasa, mas marunong magsulat, mas marunong mathematics ang mga kabataan, ay mas mararating nila yung possibilities ng full employment, no? Kung walang korupsyon, etc. Kasi factor din yan.
Okay. So there is may direct relationship nga between yung economic progress ng bansa vis-a-vis yung sa educational attainments or skill sets na na-attain. If I may just go back again a little bit earlier to sa history natin, I think one of the things that we know or learned is that yung public school system that we have right now was actually developed by the Americans. And I think more or less the same system prevails in the country that we have now.
Yung public school system?
Yung public school system.
Well, nagbabari yan kasi doon sa elementary, napakalaki ng public school system share versus private. Sa high school ay medyo 45-55 in favor of public school. Sa college ay karamihan yan ay private.
But again, considering that I think the most crucial years would be yung sa primary, so a lot of it would be considered as sa public schooling.
Sa public schooling.
Now I have read a commentary somewhere that I think one of the reasons why yung Philippines hindi na-progress is because of the fact that the public school system daw is not in a way helpful, because daw it encouraged rote training, it encouraged being deferential daw to authority. How true is that?
Yung rote ay medyo totoo yun, kasi yung tsaka kahit na yung mga teachers ay sinusubukang maging analytical kaysa informative doon sa kanilang mga pagtuturo, ay mahirap din gawin, kasi halimbawa ito, personal observation, yung UBD, understanding by design, ang tagal nang pinakilala yun, pero talagang nahihirapan ng mga guro doon, kasi nga yung mga guro mismo ay hindi siyang ang aking pangarap ay yung top echelon ng high school graduating class would decide to teach, and that would make a big difference.
Okay. But what about the fact na yun nga, para bang there's an emphasis on rote, there's an emphasis on being deferential to authority? Is that because of the public school system, or is it more cultural?
Yung parental authority, di ba? Hindi daw
yung parental authority.
Yung parental authority ay dahil sa kultura, And yung authority rather, yung teacher ay, although ba mababa yan, I mean, ask an ordinary teacher, sasabihin niya na talaga yung mga kabataan ngayon ay hindi gaanong nagre-respeto sa authority,
But is that a good thing or a bad thing? Kasi even sa law school, I remember, in a way, ang teaching is pag sinabi ng teacher, ito na yung facts. Parang you're not being encouraged to ask questions or to question.
Ang disadvantage nun ay hindi na nahuhubog ang analytical skills, Kung yung halimbawa, yung karanasan mo sa mga high school at elementary pinagdaanan mo.
You're asking.
Maraming taon siya nagdaan ng high school, mga 10 taon niya ito nag-high school.
No, you were asking, is it a good thing or a bad thing? It's good and bad.
Good and bad.
Good and bad because, good because you're encouraged to think independently. Diba? Kasi hindi rin pwedeng basta sinabi sa'yo, especially
not the system that we have now. You're talking of not in the system that we have now, which is more rote oriented nga and stuff. The reason why I was talking about the public school system as was initiated by the Americans is because according to some of the social commentators I've read, they blame the public school system because of the fact that the Americans, since we were a colony of the Americans, and they were saying that, well, they were instilling a sense of deference to authority because they didn't want the Filipinos to be thinking more independently or asking for independence. But and would you be saying that there's some truth to that accusation, and therefore you think would it be an outdated type of public school system for us?
Kasi kuya, sa aking palagay, na ang edukasyon sa Pilipinas o kahit na saang bansa man, hindi nakasalalay kung public or private eh. Kasi meron akong mga kilala na excellent private school students and very poor private school students, and the same thing is true dun sa public, ano? So, nakasalalay yan sa kombinasyon ng guro at dun sa likas na kalooban ng bata kung talaga mag-aaral siya o hindi, etc. No?
Okay.
And so yung sa authority, may mga guro na talagang bardagol, ano, sa authority, no? Pero mayroong mga guro na talagang nakukuha yung nasa sa isip ng bata, na yun yata ang sinasabi ni Ivana kanina, na kailangan makuha yung kaisipan ng bata na hindi feed ng feed.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. Yung combination of sinasabi mo na public and private, and then yung participation of the teachers and stuff. We'll get back to that later if you don't mind. But right now, I'd like to shift. What do you think is the state of education in the Philippines? I've been reading yung some of the statistics. Math yata, parang we're not really in the high numbers. Science, we're not really high. How would you characterize yung state of education here?
Well, coming from the I'm Strong experience, where we go to different provinces and talk
Public
to
and private.
public and private, but a lot of our interventions kasi are for public schools. The kids are very excited to learn. You know, they're hindi nag-wane yung interest nila, in other words. But it's really the access to the material, the access to quality teachers. Again, what we mentioned earlier about their health, is it well taken care of? So I don't think it's on the part of the ability of the children to receive information, to learn. It's more of the environment. Is the environment being ready enough, or is it the best environment?
Yeah,
But na sinasangkapan ng guro.
Yeah.
At saka ng yung libro,
Ng mga magulang rin eh.
Magulang.
Yeah.
So there's-
Guro at magulang, yung mga tao.
So there's no such thing as an unteachable student, as in lahat ng student, if you give them the proper opportunity, resources, they can actually excel.
Definitely. That's
Yes.
why we always say that children are like sponges. 'Di ba? Kasi talagang pag binigyan mo sila ng impormasyon, tatanggapin nila, at hindi lang sila tatanggap, i-analyze pa nila yan. Kaya sila nagiging creative sa iba't ibang mga bagay.
But you were talking about environment. So in terms of sa school buildings,
No.
sa textbooks, do we
No.
have, are we sufficient in that?
No, we're not sufficient, pero hindi
You feel
mukhang hindi gaanong mahalaga yan kung ikukumpara mo sa kahalagahan ng pamilya at kahalagahan ng guro. Kasi ngayon yung mga broken families ay malaking effect niyan sa pag-aaral ng kabataan, which is true. Maraming anecdotes tungkol diyan, ano? Tapos yung guro na nanggagaling sa bottom level ng high school classes, malaki rin ang effect, no?
Okay.
So provide a good environment of family and teachers, books and buildings and other things will come second place.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. It medyo kumukontra into some of the things that I've read about education, but it is quite interesting, and it just goes to show the difference between experts and people who ask the questions on
No,
this one.
pero between experts and experts between non-experts and non-experts, meaning kasi sa education maraming perspective yan kasi makikita mo dahil iba't iba ang sitwasyon, iba't ibang probinsya, iba't ibang experiences ng tao.
Okay.
Na walang talagang dogmas tungkol sa education, no? So
Okay. Well, we'll get back to that after the break. I hope you can join us then. Thank you.